In this video, we'll be going over 3 more mistakes you must avoid when playing Asuka. First, I'll show you what it looks like when we don't have a whole lot of health to spare and we also don't have heat. For this example, let's imagine this is a real match and we're low on health and trying to win this round. We might have popped heat early or wasted it somehow. Now we're in a position where we're trying to win this round, but we're completely locked out of our heat options. Thinking about the conditions of winning this round, it's going to take a few hits, a well-timed launcher, or a well-timed counter hit. But the odds are still stacked against us. When we compare this to activating heat, we can see that we're recovering significantly more health on each hit, and we have an easier time closing out this round. Now with heat activated, we can significantly increase our odds at winning this round. We're able to chip away at our opponent a lot easier this way, but the biggest takeaway is that we can now win this round in one interaction. Now without heat, this situation might seem pretty bleak, but with heat, we're able to win this round with one well-placed while running 1+2. On top of that, this combo wouldn't even be possible if we didn't have heat activated. Being able to use heat to make sure we can close out a round with 1 or 2 interactions rather than 5 or 6 will increase our odds of winning the round significantly. Even if I were to launch Nina without heat here, if I do a combo that does as much damage as possible, we still won't be able to end this round. Now let's go back to having heat activated here. We can use Heat Smash to pressure the 50-50, 1+2 and down 1+2 are uninterruptible here. They become great options and we can end the round like this as well, which again would be impossible to do without heat or Naniwa Gusto activated. Here's one other sequence I like to use in my games. If we're going to go for the low option here, we can use while running 1+2 to pressure Oki and end the round this way too. Now if I haven't proven my point already, we can stack the odds even more by putting our opponent in heat. Now your opponent is recovering health like crazy, and they have access to pressure all of their really good heat 50-50s. We definitely would not want to be caught without heat here. Now to reiterate, we always want to get value out of activating heat. We can do a staple combo like this and get decent damage, however we want to end this round. Considering Nina's health, we can get immediate value out of activating heat by extending this combo for max damage. Here we're going to spike and use forward 3+4, and then just use something to Oki our opponent. While there's no guarantee that forward 4-3 would have hit, we've decreased the amount of interactions it would take to win that round. The second way we can get immediate value out of using heat is to use it to help us get to the wall. Here I'm using our best wall carry without heat and we still can't reach the wall. Now if we use heat to help us get to the wall, we can use 2-1-2, sprint up forward 3 heat activation, and then while standing 1-4. Now we can cleanly wall splat and this could be the round for us. Now if we pretend this is a real match and we are not using heat here, this could potentially lose the round for us because we're not getting the damage we could have gotten, and now Nina has the ability to come back. With the optimization that we're making, all we need to do is do one more interaction to win this round. Now let's look at the third usage for getting immediate value out of activating heat. Here I just have Nina doing a typical pressure sidestep 1, some frame traps. While there are a lot of options that beat this type of offense, it's a big risk to try and put out a hitbox at this point. We don't have a lot of health to work with and we need to make something happen. While we could take the risk with parry, a lower throw would beat this option and potentially lose us the round. However, if we activate heat, we're essentially stealing our turn back and giving ourselves a chance to win this round. With this heat activation landing, we have the ability to use a 1-jab. Our 1-jab is +9 on hit, which means we can use this time to set up a heat smash and then do a 50-50. We can also use this jab frame trap to set up this string here, which is 1-1-3. Another useful tip is that we get the ability to sidestep here. So if we're getting bombarded by unfamiliar pressure, or we just don't want to guess anymore, we can choose to activate heat and get our turn back. The second mistake I want to talk about is not using space traps. When looking out for space traps, we want to make sure that our opponent is stumbling backwards. There are a few animations that cause your opponent to do this, however, we're just looking for a few steps back which creates some space. I'll list off the moves that Asuka can commonly use to space trap. So we have up forward 2, while standing 1+2, forward forward 4, forward forward 2-1, and down forward 1-2. While these moves are fantastic on hit, they're also really good to use on block. Just to demonstrate, while standing 1+2 will give us big damage on counter hit. We get a full combo and then we get to Oki afterwards. Let's use up forward 2. Up forward 2 has decent range and gives you a knockdown on regular hit. However, on block we get a little bit of space in between us and the opponent. We can backdash and use this space to bait out buttons from our opponent. So I'll do up forward 2 and 1 backdash. And we can see that Nina's 1+2 is completely whiffing here. We can use this time to properly whiff punish. I'm using down forward 2 here, but forward 2 would work as well. The type of punish you're using depends on what's whiffing. If something like a jab is whiffing, we're not going to get that same kind of value out of a space trap. Also, there are just some moves that will reach you even if you're backdashing, so just be aware of that. To go back to my example, I'm going to have Nina use down forward 1. We can't punish this with down forward 2 or forward 2, but we can punish this with up forward 2. Since Nina recovers a lot faster from her down forward 1, we need to use faster moves in turn to punish. While standing 1+2 will also give us a very generous window to set up this space trap. Once this move is blocked, backdash once and punish accordingly. Forward 4 will also give you a nice stumbling animation and give you time to backdash and create whiffs. In this example, Nina's whiffing 1+2 and we can use up forward 2 or forward 2 to punish. Here's power crash on block. This one is a little less forgiving, but it's still possible to create whiffs with this move. You really have to be on top of the backdash right after the move is blocked. Otherwise, a lot of the time you'll get clipped. And here's a demonstration of what happens when you do not move back. Without the space created from backdashing, forward 1+2 becomes a very suboptimal way to use a space trap. So in a real match, you want to be identifying when these moves are getting blocked, and then identifying the opportunity to backdash and whiff punish. The last mistake that I commonly see is incorrectly approaching blocking lows. While you'll never be able to make a correct guess every time, there are ways we can reduce the amount of times that we're wrong. For example, I have Jin using down forward 2 and then using a mix-up after. The mix-up he's using here is down forward 2 into CD1, which is a mid into a mid, and if you duck you get launched. Now randomly ducking this mix-up could cost you anywhere from 40% to 50% of your health, depending on where you are from the wall. Now let's show the hell sweep follow-up. Jin can consistently go into hell sweep after doing down forward 2 on block. So let's just say this is the sequence that we're going to worry about. CD2 crouch dash hell sweep. While it might seem difficult to block hell sweeps from any Mishima, the sequence that they use them in can tell you when to block low. And this goes for defending against any character. We need to look at what lows are represented to us and when. Sure, Jin has other options out of crouch dash, but if he only shows the hell sweep, we're only going to worry about this hell sweep in this sequence. We can apply the same line of thinking for moves like Jin's Zen stance. Jin can go into Zen through forward 4 and then pick an option. While Jin does have multiple ways to mix us up here, we're only going to worry about what's represented to us. So if Jin is consistently using power crush, we're going to just find the counter to this and move on. We can beat Jin's Zen 2 stance by ducking, throwing, or parrying. The worst thing that could happen is that we fear options that they don't even show us and mix ourselves up. And just for one last example, we'll use Reina trying to use Heaven's Wrath stance to mix us up. After Reina's wall standing 4-4, she can mix us up into this Heaven's Wrath throw. While Heaven's Wrath has a power crush and a mid, we want to just make sure that we're paying attention to only what's shown to us. So if it's the Heaven's Wrath throw, we need to find the counter to this throw and move accordingly. Sidestepping doesn't work here, so we can try jabbing and win this interaction. As long as Reina's not in heat, we're good to mash through this stance. And that's all I have for you guys today. If you're making any of these mistakes in your games, watch over your replays and see where you can improve using these topics. If you're struggling with climbing up the ranks and want private coaching, click the link in the description below. And as always, have a great day, guys. Want to take your Asuka to pro level? My exclusive Medify course has everything you need, each broken down in easy to follow videos. Get the course for a one-time price and get lifetime access and free updates.